Hi YouTubers, welcome again to my channel Tech World, and today I'm going to be doing another cooking video, doing your local Essequibo style sweet rice. I want to thank everyone for supporting my previous video on Essequibo style pot roast chicken. That video was really good. I got a lot of subscribers, so I appreciate you guys supporting that video, and that motivated me to do another one of my favorite delicacy, which is Keer, the Indian version or Indian way of calling sweet rice. And I'm going to do it my style. Everyone does it very differently. This is the way I do it, and I hope you guys like it, and we'll see how it turns out. Very quick recipe, easy, anyone can do it. You're not necessarily don't have to be a Guyanese to do something like this here. It's very sweet and very tasty dish. So let me give you a tour of what I have right now prepared in advance. So I like to add some raisins. So I have some raisins and I have some cherries. I cut it up in really small pieces. So we're gonna add some cherries to the sweet rice. And then inside this container I have the rice. It was washed and soaked for about half an hour. That's pretty much good for the soaking of the rice. And I'm using 1.5 cup of rice, basmati rice in this case, and then I have some milk, which is 2%, 1 cup of that milk. And the interesting thing is that you can actually, if you're in Essequibo or in Guyana, you can use the cow milk, but here in Maryland we don't have access to that, so we're going to be using our 2% milk. And then I'm going to be using 2 cans of evaporated milk along with half of a can of condensed milk. And then I'll add some sugar later on just to make it a little extra sweet. Now, if you are diabetic, this is probably not the best delicacy for you, so please don't use this if you have a condition. But if you are young and healthy and you're looking for something to satisfy your sweet tooth, this would be a fantastic meal to indulge. So to get started here, I'm gonna start the fire here. We're going to be adding the milk into this pot here for about 15 minutes or so, and let the milk sort of boil out. And then we're gonna be mixing up our rice with our purified ghee in this other pot over here. So we're gonna put the milk on low fire versus the high fire, because they tend to boil pretty fast. So let's pour that milk in. So I'm using 1 cup of 2% milk. Then I'm gonna add the evaporated milk, and we're gonna add 1 tin of evaporated milk. I'm just gonna let that boil there for about 50 minutes on low fire. On our next spot, we're going to be starting this up, and what we're gonna add here is we're gonna add the rice, and then we're gonna add probably 2 teaspoons of clarified butter, or also called ghee in I guess the more DC Hindu way. So hang on for that, and I will be right back. And now I'm going to add the rice to the mix, and then I'm going to stir the rice for a bit. Make sure we get all that in. Alright my friends, so I have the ghee with mixing with the rice. I'm gonna turn the fire up a little bit and let that kind of blend in a bit, and we're just gonna let that cook there for about 2 to 3 minutes before we start mixing everything. Okay. Alright, so really important, I guess a good tip is while this is cooking here or blending in the rice and the ghee, make sure your fire is back on low and you stir it a lot. You don't want it sticking to the pot, and I can already see there it's sticking a little bit to the pot, so make sure your fire is low and just keep turning a lot to make sure to prevent it from sticking. So it's looking real good. One thing I like about this dish is that it smells really good. You can already smell it in the air when you add the ghee and the rice, and then you add all the condiments, the milk and cherries and all that stuff. It really gives the house a nice smell. So I guess you can call it a natural scented smell. Alright, so that's looking real good. We're gonna keep mixing it for a little bit more. Once we feel like the rice is really blend in with the ghee, we're gonna pour the milk over, and I also want to add some cinnamon sticks. And if you don't have cinnamon sticks, another thing that you can add is nutmeg, or you can add cinnamon powder. Either one will work. All right. So my friends, I added the nutmeg, some ground nutmeg and cinnamon, and just gonna stir it a couple more times. As you can see, the rice is almost fully blend in with the ghee, and now I'm gonna add the milk mixture to the rice along with the other like the cherries and the raisins, and let that cook. You just want to make sure when you're adding the milk, you spread it all over the rice. You want the rice to really be covered in this milk mixture. Let's go ahead and turn that off, and let's mix this up here. Oh, that smells really good. Adding the milk to this mixture smells really good, especially when you have nutmeg and cinnamon and all these really nice spices. Really gives it a nice scent, a nice flavor, and it's already looking real tasty. I hope you guys try this. It's really quick, easy, and super delicious. I could eat all this all by myself, but that's not a good idea. This is a really popular dish for Hindus, especially when they're having like wedding or Diwali, Pagwa, any religious function. This is a common dish that you will find at a Hindu festival, and when they're doing any sort of domestic celebration. We make this a lot. I'm sort of the king at making this here in our house, and I got this recipe from Essecubo. This is how we make an Essecubo. Obviously we use the actual cinnamon sticks and the actual nutmeg that we grind, but here in Maryland you don't get those things, so you substitute and you make do with what you have. And that's the beauty about cooking, is that there's always ways to substitute and make do. You don't have to always rely on what you know. You can always make your own, and turns out always better than what you think it was. So never panic, never worry. Cooking is a great way of inventing and creating, and you always can be proud of what you make. So we're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna add the cherries because I want the cherries to be soft at the end. And I'm gonna add the raisin, and then we're gonna add the condensed milk, and we're just gonna keep stirring it. Okay. Let's get that all in there. Look at that. So you have the mixture of the red cherries, the black raisins. Some people tend to use the red raisin also. Either one is fine. And let's go ahead and add the half a can of condensed milk. This will make it really sweet. And depends on how you like your sweet rice or Keer. You can do the whole can. I tend to just add half. The condensed milk makes it very thick. And sometimes I like it a little bit not so thick. So let's mix that in. And then I'm gonna add about 10 teaspoons of sugar, white sugar. And we're gonna stir it and mix it and let it cook for about 30 minutes, and this should be done. Here, and this is how much sugar I'm adding. It's about 10 teaspoons. So I mean, this is the great thing about Keer, is that you can actually make how much you want to add, so you don't have to stick to one recipe, because it all depends on how sweet you want it to be at the end. So if you don't believe in 10, you can add half of that, 5, and that way it's not gonna be extremely sweet. So I see some people add about a whole half of a cup of sugar and just skip out on the condensed milk. So there's different ways of creating it. This is how I like to do it, and I hope you guys enjoy. It's looking real good, smells amazing, and the goal right now is to let the rice expand and get soft with this mixture of sweetness. So I'm not gonna keep the video on. I'm gonna bring it on towards the latter phase of the mixture, but I'm gonna keep stirring it, and that's what I want you guys to remember, because there's so much sugar, condensed milk, and sweet stuff inside. You always want to keep stirring this here, because it will stick on the pan or it might clump up, and to prevent it from clumping up, you want to stir it so it's maintained. So my friends, it's been 15 minutes since we had everything mixed in, and this has been cooking for 50 minutes on the stove. I just want to show you guys how it's looking. Look at that, beautiful. It smells amazing, and you can see the rice is getting softer, and all the stuff that we put in, like the cherries, is getting softer, the raisins getting softer, and now it's taking on that real beautiful look of sweet rice. So that's how you make it, guys. It's very simple, very easy, and not much to it. Anyone can make this. And if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing to help me to get to my goal. And if you are already a subscriber, welcome again to my video on my channel, and please go ahead and leave a comment or press the like button down below. So we're gonna let this continue to cook for another 50 minutes. This will be done, but the key thing is to continue to stir it. As you keep stirring it, you prevent it from sticking to the bottom of the pot, and then at least you have a nice loose sweet rice, and it's not too pasty. But as you can see, it's looking real good. We're getting to the final run. Just bear with it for a second, give it another 50 minutes, and you will be tasting this delicious sweet rice. Alright my friends, so we're all done now. I went ahead and poured this inside a container, a plastic container. It's very hot, and you can see it's smoking right now. That's what the final product looks like. This is our local sweet rice or Keer, and this is the way I make it. I hope you guys like it. The one thing about this delicacy is that you actually can't eat it hot, so don't try eating this here. It's too hot. You want to go ahead and put this in the fridge and it's really tasty when you eat it when it's cold. When you eat it hot, you don't really get the nice sweet flavor. Or you can eat at room temperature. So if you don't want to put it in the fridge, just leave it out for about an hour or two, and then after then you can try eating it with it when it's warmer, but not at this temperature. So please like, subscribe, share this video, and if you guys have a different way of making your sweet rice, leave it in a comment below. I appreciate all the subscribers who subscribe to my channel so far, and we will see you next time on my next video. Thank you.